This video is going to help you guys out if you're trying to gain some weight and you're one of those people who thinks that you're eating a lot of food already. I talk to a lot of people who are trying to gain weight and they'll say things like, I eat so much, or I eat a lot, or I eat so much of a lot of things, but really they don't eat enough. All you're gonna need for this meal prep is really simple. You're gonna need an onion. You're gonna need some carrots, right here. Some celery, 4 of them. And then you're gonna need some of these little red potatoes, about 3.5 handfuls of them. I just grabbed them at the store. You're gonna need a pot roast, a fairly large one. Some olive oil, salt, and pepper. Very simple, very tasty. You're also gonna need some beef broth. You may say to yourself, this is actually chicken broth, and you'd be right, but what are you gonna do? First things first, we're gonna chop some of this stuff up. I like to do into 4s, into quarters. You're gonna need to eat 2 lunches. You can't be doing the breakfast, lunch, dinner thing. It doesn't make sense, and it's not gonna work. Make sure your toast is not expired, because I ate some bad toast today, and the bowels have been feeling it, let me tell you. It has not been pleasant. You don't have to be a chef or anything, although I'm a very high-level chef, as you've noticed. You don't have to be like that. You don't have to be like me. Just chop away in your kitchen and make a beautiful pot roast, and your mom will think that you are the second coming of her great Nona. And you'll notice I'm putting it in little bowls like this. This is a very important step because it makes it look better, and they do it on the Food Network. It's good to have naps. It's good to get a lot of sleep. If you want to lay down on the couch, turn on a show, put on the Food Network or put on golf, and I guarantee you will have the best nap of your life. Long chop. Like that, for example, in these order, they will break down and I kind of regret that I'm not making you pay for this video. Next, very large, very meaty. This will translate directly onto your body. So if you can imagine this being put onto your body, that's what's gonna happen when you eat this. Right here, imagine, cut it in half, right here, on the quads. Here's a pro tip. Before you put the pot roast in the crock pot, you want to sear it. And what I mean by searing it is you're going to put it on a nice hot pan, and it'll taste maybe 7% better, which isn't really discernible to the human tongue, but they do it on the Food Network. You want to turn this on so that information is meaningless to you. Fairly warm to pretty hot is what you want to put it at. Next, douse it. Next, because I don't like the taste as much, get your tongs. I'm sure you have tongs. Oh no, there's a string. You can use this to play with your cat later on, or your baby. What are babies like? I don't know. Don't have one. But I can imagine they like meaty strings. Like I said, this is going right on your body. Just imagine. But imagine that on your bicep. You put too much oil on and it starts spitting back. Lay it right on. And I'm just gonna sear the outside, so I'm gonna leave it on here so it develops a nice crust on the front, the back, the side to side, and then you put it in the crock pot and all the ladies run and hide because they can't believe that a guy like you or girl like you made such an incredible meal. Put the meat on the grill, leave. If you don't have a crock pot yet, go and buy one. They're the best. I want to turn it over. Really, really hot on the pan. I probably didn't have it hot enough there, so it didn't sear it as nicely. But when you do it, make sure it's hot. I'll just hold it here on the side. Let the side sear a little bit. Just take it over here. Just flop it in the pot. Really nice. Take my beef broth, which is actually chicken broth. Pour some on there. I usually put about half of one of these boxes in. I take my onions, then my carrots, just like they do in the show. like diners, dive-ins, and Gus Fieri is gonna come through the door in a second.
His name's Guy.
Oh, what? Guys, I know a lot about cooking. The potatoes. And then you look in there. Wow. Just put a little water in. No big deal. That's literally it. Put it on high. And we're gonna wait for probably 4 to 6 hours. If you can't do this, then I'll see you guys when this thing is done, just like they do on the shows. I'll lift it up, we're gonna cut. What we got here is a fine Potroast. I know I was telling you guys you need to eat like 4 meals a day to put on some mass. Well, here's what I ate today. I had breakfast, good breakfast. Then I had a Greek yogurt, a cookie, an apple, and then another cookie. And that's what I've eaten today. The reason for that was I ate a moldy piece of bread, and I felt a tremendous pressure growing in my thorax, just growing and bubbling and broiling. And you can imagine what happened after that. For the next 5 to 6 hours, skitters. That happens, it's a setback, 1 step backwards, 2 forwards. This has been in here for probably 6 hours on high, really going. I want to show the people what we got. Because you want to cook it to the point where I can just kind of like push it and rip it apart, and oh, look at that. That is a fine Potroast, if I do say so myself. I just mush it, I mash it, I smush it, I smash it. It's like pulled pork essentially, but a fine Potroast pulled pork. And I'll do that for maybe 5, 6 more hours. Then I'll get some gloves on and just really get in there for another 3, 4 hours. Then I'll take it out into the backyard and I'll sit under the wishing tree with it and just wish and pray and hope that it is the most fine Potroast that has ever graced this fine earth. Unfortunately for you, you don't get to see that process. It might be on How It's Made later this week, put on by National Geographic, not sure yet. The Food Network and National Geographic are doing a little collab for me. Because what you'll find is if you just break it up into big chunks and throw it in the fridge, and then you go to reheat it, it doesn't really taste good. It tastes kind of dry and chunky, but if you really mix it up, like I'm doing here, you're gonna start to see it's turning into this nice fine Potroast, shredded up, real nice. I just take a spoonful, and I pour it in there. Really simple, like. Make sure you get lots of juices, lots of those nice mushy veggies. So if you don't have teeth, this is a great option. Everything is very mushy. Look at this. Come on over here, camera woman, cameraman. Mysterious. No one knows who it is. It's Julie. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 2 meals each, okay? And I made a taste tester meal over here. Right here, look how nice that looks as well. That's 9 meals. Also, what I like to do is I don't put the rice with the meat. I find that when you're heating it up, it doesn't work as well. So I just get a big old pot of rice here. And then when I'm ready to have my meal, you can just take this to work with you or school. You scoop out half, put it in a bowl, scoop out some rice, put it in a bowl, put it in the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes. Bada boom, bada bing. The roast probably cost 20 bucks. Great value. If you guys want to try this out, I'm going to put the recipe below and the cooking instructions as well. If you have any questions or comments, leave those below. Check out my website. I have some cool blogs on there, some cool other things on there, some podcasts, some videos, some pictures of me lifting weights looking real strong. You know how I like to look strong. Anyways, check that out and see you next time.